The foot soldiers are the young people that were involved in the movement. These are folks that will never get their name in history books, but without them, this wouldn't have worked.
The foot soldiers were the ones on the ground of the civil rights movement. They were that army of people who marched, who were beaten by the policemen, who had to take the water hose attacks, who were bitten by the dogs, who were put in jail, and some were even killed.
These people are American history heroes, and they live right next to us.
Growing up in the city of Birmingham, we experienced firsthand what it was like to be black, okay?
I felt like if I could make a difference, I was willing to do that, because at that particular time, I was just one fed up little black girl. I really was. So I was ready to go. I was motivated to go.
My father carried all of us to the Monday night mass meetings, which consist of singing and clapping and motivational speakers telling you to get involved. And I just turned 18. He said, "You're old enough to make your own decisions. Whatever you do, we'll live by it." And that's all I needed.
I got permission from my mother, and my brother and I walked to our first mass meeting. And it was in that mass meeting that I met James Bevel. He said, "How many electric typewriters do you have at your school?" I said, "We have one, but I get to type on it because I'm a good typist." He said, "Did you know at Phillips High School, which was an all-white school, they have 3 rooms of electric typewriters?" I thought, what? It's first reality check.
When James Bevel decided that they should use the children, I was told Martin Luther King at first didn't want to do that. But as he kept on talking about it, they decided that it was safer to use the children because they didn't have a job to lose.
He said, if you want to do something about this, you can. Your parents can't, but you really don't have anything to lose. And I agreed with him. And that's what got me going.
James Bevel helped them understand, listen, you're being discriminated against because of who you are. And then when the kids like, yeah, you're right, I want to be a part of this, you got to go through a training session.
We attended student nonviolent workshops. We would meet sometimes at 16th Street in the basement, and the different ministers would talk to us. They basically told us that if you get involved, you got to be nonviolent. If somebody calls you a name, they hit you, even if they spit on you, you could bow your head, cover your head, but do not strike back.
They're going to simulate things at the training session. So if I'm smacking you in the head and I'm pushing you, I'm blowing smoke in your face. But if you can take it, you can make it outside.
I was 16 and I was arrested.
It wasn't a proud thing back in 1963 to come out and brag about, I went to jail because I marched for civil rights. No one respected a jailbird, so those foot soldiers ended up keeping a lot of that inside, not to be ridiculed by the people that thought it was degrading to go to jail.
Kids were in jail for some cases 4 to 5 days. Imagine being in a jail cell for 4 or 5 days and you're in there packed like sardines with 38, 39 other kids. I mean, these kids they're not soldiers for real, but they were fighting a war for their freedom. They were willing to do it in spite of what could potentially happen to them. I know foot soldiers that cannot walk through the statue with the 3 dogs in Killingham Park because they remember what it was like to get bit, so they just refuse to go in there. These folks are still living with some of that. They are heroes.